coming up on this After Hours episode of the Grassroots podcast.
I'm always someone who's like, whatever you want to do, go for it. Like, doesn't matter what it is, big or small.
Anyone can reinvent themselves at any time.
Yeah.
And hopefully you can do it before you go down that path.
Like, if you're that dude that wants to be the best at marbles, do it.
Yeah.
You know, if you're that girl that says you want to like swim the furthest or whatever, no matter what your goals are, man, hold them to who you are.
I'm your host, Quincy Kennedy, and you're hanging out with us in Thought Fox Studio 1, also known as the Fox Den. And we are in the building. This is a special episode for us. We are back with an After Hours. So, parents, if you have kids, there's no swearing on this podcast. But you may have to cover their ears for some of the topics we'll be discussing. So, just a heads up for that, just a bit of a warning. We get pretty nitty gritty in these After Hours ones. So, definitely excited for this. More excited for who I have back as my co-host, Dave Ferrari. How are we doing, bud?
Doing great.
Yeah?
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, it's good to have you back. All the jokes that were going along while you were gone. For sure you got the boot, man. We took your name off the parking spot and filled it with Jase and then with Ellie and Matt as well. And
I didn't notice I got the chauffeur now, so I didn't see the spots.
limousine and everything.
At the door.
That's right.
Yeah.
Where were you actually? How about we talk about that? Where did you disappear to?
I went to Japan.
Japan? What's in Japan? Do you have family in Japan?
No family in Japan that I know of, but what's in Japan?
Are you of Asian descent?
There's a lot in Japan. There's a lot of people in Japan, that's for sure. Awesome country. Just did a bit of sightseeing and just played tourist for 10 days.
Yeah, that's right. So that's all. Just play tourists? You weren't there for no specific reason?
Oh, we got married, but that was before we left.
Oh, you just got married. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he just got married, so that's no big deal. So the newlywed on the show,
That's
Dave
right.
Ferrari. Congrats, man.
Thanks, man. I thought I'd reward her for being with me for a little while. So
That's right. She gets a golden star.
that's it.
Awesome, man. Well, good to have you back. Congratulations again, man. Marriage is a cool thing. Also, on the team, we have Jase. As always, Live Nutrition back in the building. How are we doing, my friend?
Pretty good, mate. Pretty good first after hours. So,
First after, pop the cherry. There you go. There we go.
Yeah.
No longer a virgin to the after hours.
I know. It's a bit scary, but I'm sure you guys won't go too hard on me.
Nah, we won't, man. We'll lay easy on you. So, have you been waiting for this moment your whole life? You're like, I just cannot wait to get on the Grassroots podcast after hour show.
Surprisingly, I was just born and I came out and my parents gave me those little Etch-a-Sketch things and came out with the Grassroots logo and they made out this little after hours thing on it. So,
well, good to have you on, man.
We do our best work after hours.
Yes, we do. When we're tired and need coffee and there's late nights. More importantly, the man of the hour, we have Shaun. Shaun, you got to help me pronounce your last name.
All right, it's pronounced Blomfield.
Boof. All right, we're going to go with that. Shaun Blomfield.
Yes.
Blomfield?
Blomfield.
Blomfield.
That's the one.
Shaun Blomfield.
Yes.
Man of the hour. We're going to be chatting with him for the next 45 minutes or so, just talking about his life. As you know, we like to empower you guys with some stories of athletes and people in Australia who have went on that journey and what it's done for them. I know we had actually a guy from the States, Shaun. I don't think he was in After Hours, though. Was he? No, he wasn't. Maybe not. But just hearing his story and how sports have kind of molded and shaped his life, in addition to a couple other people we've had on in the After Hours, just kind of get nitty gritty into the story of people's lives and what sports and grassroots sports specifically has done for these people. And it's always fun to get into the nitty gritty, especially when it deals with sports and how sports can change your life and the empowerment. So we're going to hop right into it. So, Shaun, diving right into it, for those who don't know, you give us a quick background of where you come from and what you're currently doing.
Okay, so currently at the moment, I run my own business out of Balance Health Club. So I run a personal training business called Blomfit PT. I've been back on board with that for about 18 months, but I've been in the fitness industry in general for about 15 years. So So I started that in 2001, 2002, around that sort of time, a little bit earlier. And I've just been doing a few different areas, from anywhere from like working in the gym to teaching classes to doing reception to cleaning bathrooms. You name it, I've sort of done it. But before that, my background is I actually grew up in a small country town called Gunnedah. So it's out near Tamworth and that. So basically grew up there. Simple country life, pretty straightforward. Mum, dad, brother, farm life, all that sort of stuff. Had no idea I wanted to get into the fitness industry until sort of after high school. And yeah, that was pretty much it. But so the fitness industry has like been a huge part of my life for the last 15 years. Like I think to sort of get to one of the big points, if I didn't have that, I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now. So that's been the big thing. Like it's given back to me as much as I've given to it.
Absolutely.
It's been amazing. Like so at the moment I'm just out of action at the moment, just like nursing an injury. So I've got a broken ankle. So I'm basically just recovering from surgery like 2 weeks ago.
How did that happen?
Okay, so this the way this happened is I'm always someone who's like, whatever you want to do, go for it. Like, doesn't matter what it is, big or small. So this year, I'm getting older and I'm looking at stuff I just want to chip off on my bucket list. So about 6 months ago, I made the decision to talk to a friend of mine who runs a pro wrestling school. So Newcastle Pro Wrestling, good friend of mine, Adam runs it. He's one of the coaches there, and I've always wanted to do it. Like that's pretty much what got me through high school. So I was a sort of a different sort of kid in high school, and the pro wrestling was always something I could relate to. Larger life characters, the superhero mentality, all that sort of
like
stuff.
Like WWE?
Yeah, straight up. You know that stuff on TV. Like,
were you NWO or WCW?
I was always WWE. Yeah,
WWE.
Yeah,
right.
always
WWF at the time.
Yeah,
Yes.
so big role model.
Cold.
There you go.
Yeah,
The Rock. It's all about The Rock back then.
That was a big thing for me. So for me, relatable role models when I was growing up was guys like Stone Cold, The Rock, all that sort of stuff. Like I found those characters to be someone that I always wanted to be when I couldn't bring that to the table. And that's pretty much what I wanted to. And when I was 18, I asked my parents, like, this is what I want to do. And they've gone, it's not a job.
Doesn't put food on the table.
Yeah, so is that or stay on the farm and all that sort of stuff and work the country lifestyle, and that wasn't really for me. So that's what got me into the fitness industry. So I was never the most athletic kid in high school. Like the only thing I could really get to the bottom of most of the time was like a bucket of chicken, and that's pretty much it. I love sports. Like I grew up playing basketball. Obviously didn't have the build and height for it, but I just loved it. So not being able to pursue the wrestling thing at that age, I basically looked at other avenues, and that's how I got into the fitness industry. So I saw an article in, I think it was Muscle and Fitness, like just before, like I think early 2000s, and it was The Rock's workout plan. So pretty much everything he ate, everything he did, and you're like, I'll just copy that. Yeah. That's sweet. And that was my first foray into the gym. And the gym that we had at the time was an old school bodybuilder's gym. Like literally, this thing was like an old shed. The guy still had the buzz cuts with the bun bag and the happy pants, and that was it. And then after that, I was just sold. So like, I was probably a heavier sort of kid at that time. Like I would classify myself as overweight. Happy kid, but self-esteem issues and all that sort of stuff. I've sort of always found myself on the outside looking in, and the health and fitness was the perfect avenue for me. So yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, so it was brilliant. And then so fast forwarding back to this year, I'm like, dude, I've always wanted to do it. If I try it, and then obviously something happens, at least I can say I've done it. So 2 weeks ago we were training normal training drill, me and a partner, and from what I remember, it looked brilliant. I've just landed wrong. My left foot's landed fine. My right foot spiked the mat and bent backwards, so toes went back towards the ankle. I didn't hear anything snap or didn't feel anything. Basically just landed on the mat and just thought I sprained it. Ice pack, which was 2 VBs and electrical tape around the ankle for recovery. Went home, went to bed, slept like a log. I thought, all right, I'll see how I go in the morning. By lunchtime Tuesday, I'm on a table getting prepped for surgery with the orthopedic surgeon telling me I need 6 screws and a plate to fix it. Yeah, I was still rolling in there right up until lunchtime with that positive. It's a sprain. It's got to be a sprain. Thing looked like a football, but yeah, I was good. Couldn't even put a thong on it. So yeah,
I think you hear that all the time when you have injuries. So when people finish the game or play on. I know JFK has done that a couple times.
Yeah.
Where you just play on like, oh, it's just probably a sprain or whatever, and then you find out 2 or 3 later, it's like, man, this is still kind of bothering me, and then eventually you get to the hospital, like, oh wow, it's broken. That's neat.
Oh, the lady that took the X-ray, she was awesome. She's like, damn. And I'm like, okay, like, damn, the machine's broken, or damn, I should be at work. And she's like, nah, it's broke. It's clean snap broke. Like, you've done a good job. And then the like, everybody in the public healthcare system at John Hunter was so cool. Like, they were just really, like, chilled out, nice. Like, I was, like, broken at one point because, like, it was like pretty much everything that I'd been known for I thought was done. So they're like, listen, surgery, the recovery's long. It's going to be like, one doctor was like, listen, 8 weeks, don't even leave your bed. And from that standpoint, you just see everything that you get accustomed to. And even for myself, you just see it just go just straight away. So you're just lying in bed, like, just, I don't know, what do I do? You know, and that was the big thing. Like, the injury was fine. It's more the headspace. So for myself, like, with a background from having depression, being other life situations that have caused me to get in that pit, that was the first thing that I recognised. It's like, all right, well, how do I fix this and go from there? And yeah, but the doctors and that were really cool. And yeah, they were like, a couple of weeks later, like 2-week check, I was like, yeah, cool, just don't do anything silly. Like, you know, just, you can train. So basically I'm doing a festival workout, all upper body, all cardio, no legs, chest day, back day, arm day, so all that sort of stuff.
That's what most people do anyway, just chest and arms. And
so basically my goal is to look like a giveaway sign at the end of the 3 months.
There you go.
Yeah, just come straight to a point. And so
Pigeon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but no, that was probably the not the most graceful way to have a holiday or a bit of time off, but yeah, it's been good. So
I guess where I know you, and the only part I really know about you is the PT part, you know, because I met you at I believe it was Cardiff's Balance. Chatted with you there. I think you were wearing a Pistons jersey.
Yes.
And I asked you, are you from Detroit?
No.
I'm from Michigan, and we had that conversation.
Yep.
And then that's when I found out that you're in the basketball and that you're in health and fitness.
Yeah.
But talk to us before you became the personal trainer. So what was life like before? You mentioned that you were a little overweight when you were in high school.
Yeah.
And talk to us about your early days, even before the transition of going into personal training. Talk to us about what life was like early days.
Man, I like growing up in a small town, like, to take it back, I loved it. Like, my family's the best. Like, they're your typical country sort of family, mum, dad, brother. But it was cool. For me, like, I grew up playing sports, but I wasn't very sports minded. Like, you usually just play sports for the sake of doing it. So soccer was the first one. I didn't really take to it, but for me, I found a lot of camaraderie in other sports. Like, basketball was the big thing. So that was what I started with in high school, and I found that for coming from a small town where social circles can be sort of tricky to work with, I found that like my big outlet. Like, it was always really cool. Like, I loved it, and that was where I sort of transitioned from there. So like, the basketball gave me an avenue to, no matter what sort of day I was having, I could step into like that. I could catch up with friends. I could sort of be who I wanted to be outside of other different areas and that was always great. But like, as far as like coming from a small town, like, I was lucky. Like, it was really cool. Like, I learned so many lessons in that. My family's cool. My social circle was cool. Like, everything was good, man. I was just like, we always had something to do. So if it wasn't playing sport, it was being active in other avenues. So you're either outdoors, you're either swimming, you're either just cruising around with friends. You'd be out at the start of the day and home by night. And like, that's what I mean. Like, as far as character building, like, that's how I became who I was, because of those sort of avenues and that. But as far as like sport wise, yeah, like, it built really good social circles, and like, it helped me build like a lot of skill sets to prolong in life and that, and which you can't take anywhere else. So yeah, it was great. Like, regardless of how far I could have taken or did take it, like, it was just cool, man. Like, yeah, like, no matter what sort of day you was having, like, I was a confident person in crowds, but for me, I always felt like I was sort of 1 or 2 steps off the pace of what I was sort of looking for sometimes. And those outlets, like those creative outlets like sport and all that, were perfect for that, because I could sort of be that character.
When you say a few steps off the pace, was it more of a physical thing, or just like smartness, funniness, or can you put a finger on that, or is it just generally?
Some sort of physical thing, yeah. I was never the most athletic person. I think when I jumped, I got further in the ground. So, yeah, I could swim like a rock. I could do all that sort of stuff. But for me, it was more like the fun aspect was there. So the basically being able to sort of be a part of a team environment and then pushing yourself as well. 2 steps off the pace, I think for me, sometimes could also be like more that I was never that kid that got picked last, but I was always in the middle of the group, the face in the crowd. I always wanted to be that step out, the one that could sort of make that difference. And I sort of feel like I'm coming into that now, but it's, over time and all that. And I think that's the biggest thing I sort of try and instill with the PT. Just be your own best version of you, man. And and like coming from that small country environment, that built that. But the sports thing, definitely, I was definitely not the most athletic sort of thing. Yeah, so.
Okay. Were you bullied at all?
Nah, no. You have your good days and your bad days, but I was never that guy. Like I was, like I said, like knock on wood, I was really lucky. I had a pretty cool social circle. I sort of found I got along with a big group of people. So as far as like high school and growing up, you have all your social circles. For me, I always use sense of humor.
Yeah.
Like always, like every report card, nice kid, but social circle, class clown, crack a joke. Like that's what I sort of mean. Like that was always me. Like I could always grab an attention of a room if I could make people laugh. So not being athletic was one thing. Sort of making people laugh was the other avenue I'd gone down. So that's where I sort of really connected. So bully, nah. Never bullied and all that. Like I said, I was lucky and all that. From standpoint, so like I said, I get along with a few people, but you always have your good days and you have bad days. Like you might just get on someone's bad day and then before you know it, you're a center of the wrong piece of attention.
To come from an area where you weren't happy with where your athletic ability was and to know what you know now, what would be something that you would tell a young junior athlete that might be in a similar position to you? The first 3 things that would come to your mind to go, okay, you're struggling here, but these are things that you can control. Yeah.
Be proud of your strengths because everybody has them.
That's good.
Be true to who you are.
Yeah.
And no matter what anybody says, man, just do what you feel like that brings out the essence of who you are. Yeah. And don't sway from that. Like if you're that dude that wants to be the best at marbles, do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you're that girl that says you want to like swim the furthest or whatever, no matter what your goals are, man, hold them to who you are.
Yeah.
And that's probably the main thing. And just keep working at it. And don't let anybody's outside opinion change how it makes you feel.
Absolutely.
Like if whatever you're doing brings a vibrancy and a character to who you are and makes you brighter that people can see that, do it.
Love that.
That's probably the big thing I learned from coming through this area. Like, man, it doesn't matter what you want to do. Like, okay, if you've got a negative connotation to it, I probably won't send you a Christmas card. But, man, do what makes you smile, man. Like, that's the thing. No matter if it's a sport or creative activity, like creativity through any aspects, man, it promotes vibrancy. Like, it's just awesome. So that's probably the main thing. If I could tell, like, my younger self or anybody like that I work with through a younger age, just stay true to who you are. Like, you don't have to follow the pack, but if you love what you do, man, you'll never have to worry about anything every day.
Absolutely.
And the problems just, like, they flow away. That's probably the biggest thing I learned.
It's a good parallel too. I think why you found such a good place within the fitness industry, because that is the real positive part of it. You're giving people that have probably gone a little bit off the rails so much, you're giving them their life back. Yeah, and in so many ways. That's probably for me. Like people say what I do for a job, and I pretty much tell them I'm unemployed. Like I don't have a job. Like I get to hang around people every day that make me feel like, no, not make me feel better about myself, but not from a standpoint that it's a facetious standpoint. It's more the fact that like I have a part to be I have the option to be a part of someone's life and area that I feel great. Yep. Like from the people I work with to the people I train to the people I like just hang around with. Like for example, like meeting Quincy, like we probably had our big decent discussion probably a week ago, like a couple of days ago, and it was 30 minutes, and like I found out a lot about himself and the same with me. Like it's just cool, man.
just connecting with people on all these different levels.
Yeah.
You know,
A thing you mentioned earlier is that you want to give back to something that's given so much to you. And I think that's how we all feel in regards to what we do for sports. I know what they're doing with NSA hockey. Like, they're just giving back to the younger generation for what hockey has given them. And I know for me in lacrosse and some of the guys I'm working with, a lot of us are out of our heyday maybe, or we're not going to play professional anytime soon, but we're just giving back to something that's given us so much. And I know that's true to me. And even with Jase and nutrition, and we're just trying to give back.
Yeah.
So that seems like the reoccurring theme I'm hearing from you. I guess go into more depth. Where does that, I guess, come from? Like, what has health and fitness and the sport of like actually training and being a PT, what has that actually done for you?
Oh, heaps. Like, for me, it's obviously from a normal day-to-day standpoint, it's provided me with certain lifestyle choices I didn't have an option with. So, yeah, like roof over the head, food on the table, like really normal sort of stuff like that. From a standpoint for me, like from different levels, like it's a contribute to just people's lifestyles and that as well. And like from the deepest sort of level I can do it, it's kept me here. Like, that's what I mean. Like, training has actually kept me, like, to be honest with you, my head above water and in a mental capacity as well. So that's why I like giving back, because I've known from when you haven't had anything to, like, an avenue like fitness can give you everything back, so to speak. That's why I like it as well. So, yeah. And just, I think other things too, like just seeing other people reach their potential and you can be a part of that is pretty cool.
Yeah, let's talk about that actually, and this is open discussion for you guys, and feel free to ask questions in regards to this. What I'm about to talk about now, but this is kind of where I thought it'd be good to have you on the show and chat about this a bit, because sport does do a lot for us, and again, just reiterating what we just talked about, like just giving back to the sports that's given us so much, and what sports actually do for us, keeping us not only busy but keeping us active and social, and pursuing things and striving for a goal. But you mentioned a couple of times now, and I just want to kind of bring that to light. You said that being a PT, training, the sport has actually kept your head above water, have actually kept you around. Can you just dive more deep into that and what you're referring to in regards to what we talked about at the gym and that whole story?
Yeah, well, probably for me, like doing this for 15 years, obviously had ups and downs like anybody. That's the beautiful thing about life. Whenever there's a sort of valley, the cool thing is definitely there's a peak coming. So you just probably one of the big things I learned is two quotes was like, you always see the brightest stars at the darkest part of the night. So no matter what you're going through, there's always a real bright spot coming through. And for me, like with those sort of things was, so I've been, like I said, I've been PTing for 15 years. So probably about 10 years ago, like I was still in the industry, just starting in the industry, and everything was going cruisy, going well. I was in a relationship. I had a place. It was like normal sort of stuff. And then everything went. So basically I come home and the person I was seeing at the time was like, listen, it's not working. I'm like, what? Like, just wasn't normal sort of thing, just wasn't working. So basically had to move out. So I was sleeping on a mate's floor, like literally sleeping on the floor of that. He was an awesome guy. It's just all they could fit in, and he come to town real quick, which was really cool. Then from there, because like I hadn't really been in that situation before, I got in my own headspace. So I was like, all right, that's not working. I miss this person, couldn't really function with it and all that. Basically, and then I was sleeping on a mate's floor. And then from there, like I was PTing at the time, but everything started to unravel. I went from training 40 people a week to 3. I just wasn't turning up to sessions. I was sleeping. I started eating bad. Like, it was pretty much the best way I could describe it. If you've ever seen like those Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, at the start, where he's like off the force, he's got the raggedy beard, he's got the pizza half stuck in the blender, he's got like all that food on there. Well, that's basically the situation I was in. So I went from having all these clients to basically nothing, and I just unraveled because I didn't know how to deal with it. Like, I was trying to be the typical guy, just don't talk about it, just get going, you just got to muscle up, cowboy on and go for it. Didn't work. I went downhill. So for me, I just started feeling like just having all these emotions of like people talk about the black dog and depression and all that sort of stuff. I didn't know it was that at the time, but it was. So for me, I just started stepping away from society. Like I just didn't feel like I wanted to do it anymore. Like I was always waking, like I just, from the relationship, it was nothing bad. It was just, we were just different people. Like she's cool, man. It was just different. Like when you're young, you think, all right, first one you have, first relationship you get, you're like, everything's
She's the one.
Yeah, but it wasn't. And it was like, now I know. But looking back there, it was like, man, everything just started unraveling. So like sleeping on a mate's floor, basically work turned like south bad. It was like nothing, didn't get along with anybody at work and all this sort of stuff. And I just felt like I was all alone, like just looking at the wrong avenues and all that. And then from there, like you have these things of where probably the best way I like to describe it, it's like just take everybody you know in a room and you have a light around yourself. If you're having a good day, the light's bright, right? Which brings people in. If you're having a bad day, the light's a dark colour, so like a brown, a black or whatever. And that's basically how I was sort of picturing it. So my dark light, for lack of a better term, started pushing people away and I thought I was all by myself. So from there, that was a period of about 3 months of just like, I just didn't want to do it anymore, like constantly crying, just not want to get up out of bed, bad food choices. Self-talk was horrible. I hate myself. I'm useless. I don't want to be here. This is not working. What am I doing? No, but like all that sort of stuff, and just got in my own head. And then probably about 3 months into that, I got to a point where I got an argument for someone really close to me about the situation where I just said, hey, I'm struggling. And we got an argument. I basically just went, what? That's it. I'm done. I don't want to be here anymore. So I went home, wrote a letter, and I'm like, that's it. I'm just going to figure out how to get out of here. So it was either like option A or option B, which weren't good options. It was like, all right, I'm going to fall asleep and try not to wake up, or I'm going to look for some other option. And then the crazy thing is, my folks actually rang us. So my mum, she knew I was going through it, and all she said was like, hey, don't know why I'm giving you a call, but I'm just giving you a call. Just want to say we love you. Things are going to be all good. Be sweet. Just remember who you are. Just keep cruising. All right.
So she gave you a call as you were writing the note?
Yeah. So I was writing the note. I was just sitting in there. I was going to just sit in the bathtub and just, I don't know, just figure something out. Just be like, I don't want to do this anymore. I was just tired all the time. I just felt like a burden. Like the whole opposite to, what was really going on. I just didn't, it was just that. I just kept focusing on the wrong thing, and then it was from there. And then the funny thing is, about 4 weeks after that, I got into a car accident. So I got T-boned driver's side. I can't even remember it, and just boom, just got absolutely rattled. And then just woke up at 10 o'clock that night, totally like, had no idea where I was. Like I looked like my right side looked like I'd been in a punch up with Mike Tyson. So my left side was still the gorgeous looks, but the right side was just bruises and blood and all this sort of stuff, and then just all rattled. And I think honestly that's what shook me out of it. Like not straight away, but it gave me that thing where it's like I looked in the mirror and looked at where I was, and all I could remember was just like that I'm lucky to be here.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it. So it was steps after that. Like my shoulder was busted, like my collarbone sits out. It's a cool party trick now. So it's, all that sort of stuff. So, but from that point, literally it was just one actual step at a time. And from there, like, there was like role models from that point. Was like, there was two people that I was living with. You guys were talking about Mama P in one of your podcasts. Yeah. The owners of that, James and Kylie, I was living with them at the time. Man, absolute legends. Yeah, like James was like my older brother role model. Like he was like just this cool dude in the exact same things as what I was. And his now wife Kylie was like, I'm like, James is this cool dude and he's with this person and she's just amazing. And I'm like, cool, man. And that was my, like, I was basically just, I was like, at the hip from then on in. Everything James did, I wanted to do. And that was like a really cool outlet. So from there, it was like, literally like, it was the biggest eye-opener. It was just like, man, like everything can just go so quickly. Like I had no idea what happened. And then like I wake up like, okay. And I was just like, you can lose everything like that. So I'm like, why am I focusing on areas that one, I can't control or two, that what I can control is up to me, and the skills I have are able to get me out of it. So basically it was just like one step at a time. So just Like lots of positive work forward. Like first thing was getting back into the gym. Like I'd put on a little bit of weight that time, so I was probably closer to 95 and 100 kilos at that time. So I was a PT, and my diet was pretty much just pizza and breakfast cereal. So I was like, all right, now I got to sort of try and pull out of this sort of thing. And man, and that's where the gym come in. Like first thing was I was back at the gym, and it was great. Like I was like, yeah, like you still had your bad days, but instead of having 10 bad days in a row, you had 5 and then 2 good ones, and then 3 and then 3 good ones, and then and then you start to notice little things like the people who do want to help are there, and the people that do want to talk to you are there. And yeah, it was just cool, man. Like it was a real eye-opening experience, and I'm like, I wouldn't change it. I'm so grateful I went through it as well. And that's when I just started to realize that there's so much more out there than the pure fact of this. Like there's just more, man.
There's more.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Perspective.
Yeah. And it was so from there, like I just started started getting back into the PT, started getting back into the gym, just basically just one step at a time, and just a lot of self-talk, and just and like looking for the right people around me. So that's when James and Kylie were really good role models. My family, I moved into like other gyms to train at, and that was like all there, and just other aspects, and just sort of looking at things through a different set of glasses. So instead of what's going wrong, what's going right.
Absolutely.
You know, and there was probably a million things going right at the time, and I was only focusing on the 1 or 2 things going wrong. Like, you know, and yeah, that's pretty much switched it, and then just sort of went from there.
Exactly.
You know, like you still get ups and downs, like, yeah, for sure. And that's probably when I made a bit of a decision to say, well, all right, whatever I want to do in life, no matter what it is, man, just go for it. If I fall flat on my butt or flat on my face, man, at least I can say do it. I don't want to look back when I'm 50 or 60 and say, I should have done that, or I could have done that, or I wish I had done that.
Yeah, fell forward.
Yeah, man, just do it, just go for it. And yeah, and then from there it was building up. And then just started working, like still in the industry, PTs, built up, did that. And then, yeah, just slowly I had a few adventures along the way, like went overseas for a while, had a few other funky jobs. Like, yeah, but I've always come back to the fitness and the health side of things and just went from there. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, so that was probably the hardest point. But yeah, from that point, I built so many great relationships. So pretty much, yeah, like if anybody is going through a rough track or whoever's like, just don't give up. You know, man, like everybody has bad days. I know they say it, but you'll be amazed of what you can create for yourself through those situations. Yeah, and if you sort of build yourself from that, you'll be amazed of what people can draw inspiration off you as well.
Absolutely.
That's probably that giving back thing to sort of summarize it.
Yeah.
So, you know, from there is like, if someone else is struggling, they can use you as a role model directly or indirectly. So yeah, man. So that's probably that. Yeah, that's why I like doing what I'm doing.
Definitely.
I like that. David Farrar here for those who are listening. I don't think I've said anything on this podcast. It's been listening and taking it in.
Still in shock with that marriage thing, aren't you?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Keeps calling me. I got to get home. No, that's a great story. And I took so many things there. I took lots of notes.
Yeah, cool, man.
I think it's fantastic. I think 2 big things I got from it was the role models you found when you were coming out of that.
Yeah.
And those people that you kind of wanted to be like.
Yeah, man.
I think that's a big thing. And anyone can reinvent themselves at any time.
Yeah.
And hopefully you can do it before you go down that path. But I know growing up, when I look back at the person I was even like a year ago, and sometimes I cringe, but like I've been kind of an idiot before, done stupid things or just acted certain ways, but every now and again you just reflect and look at yourself and think, or find a good role model and be like, I really want to be like that person. How can I reinvent myself a little bit to be more like that? Then you find yourself choosing better habits and lifestyle choices and things like that. And all of a sudden, fast forward a year, and you're like, man, I'm not that person, but I'm such a better version of myself for kind of trying to be like that person or try to be like their good qualities, you know what I mean? And reinventing yourself. And the other thing I really liked where you said, just do whatever you want. Like if there's something you want to do it. And there's so many good quotes out there, but one that really resonated with me recently was, it said, you are a perishable item, you know, live like it. And it's like the milk analogy, you know what I mean? Whenever you grab milk, I know at work, when I'm making a coffee, I always check the date because who knows how long it's been there. And if it's past the use by date, well, then you toss it out, right? Yeah. So it's like, we are going to die, we are going to perish, and why have anything left to do or try if it's just going to get tossed out. Like, let's do it all now before the expiry date. Like the milk, you want to use it all. Like, I know if I don't want a glass, so it expires tomorrow, I'm going to crush it because you might as well.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. I think a cool thing I've learnt along the way is, and I got it from an old roommate of mine when I was going on a date once. I was real nervous. And he said, just picture as if you're acting in a movie or acting a scene. Just pick who you want to be and just act it out like you're faking it. I was like, okay.
That
and I killed it.
Yeah, well, that point's really good because that's basically how I sort of base a lot of what I do on now. Going to role models, a big one that I'm a fan of, especially with the whole podcast thing, is Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
So Fear Factor, UFC, like his podcast, like as soon as Quincy said do a podcast, I'm just like, it felt like something opened up. I'm like, So I was just so stoked. But then like through a lot of those times, like Joe was just like everything. This guy was someone I built myself on. Like he works out, he's a stand-up comic, which I love, and all that sort of stuff. And the big thing that resonated through me, he has this quote which I've got it just basically sitting in front of me every day I wake up. And what is it? Be like the action hero of your own movie. Just pretend that someone's filming a documentary of your life, and your life starts now, and you're at the part of like the crappy part of the movie.
Yeah.
So that's where you film it. So he said he said basically the goal is for your documentary or your movie to be watched by your kids, and they can look back at that and say that your mum or your dad was a badass. Like they just got what they got to do. And I think the quote continues on. He said, as much as I like a success story, he said, I love a comeback story even more.
Yeah.
And that's every day. So I just see that and I'm just like, yeah. And that's the main thing. Like that's how I sort of roll with it. Like I saw that and just, it was like on the phone, it was on the door, it was everywhere, and so no matter what, just pretend that like you're the hero of your own movie.
Yeah.
And that's how I roll. And even with myself, like I do take it like that. Life's a movie, and I'm guaranteed like the ending's going to be good, man. So just chill out, have fun with it, and don't stress. Like the ending's going to be, you're going to make the ending perfect, man. Yeah. Just don't wreck it. Just enjoy the ride and let the ending turn out how you want it to be. It's going to be there. Yeah, and that's the main thing. Yeah,
for sure. Do you think, like again, digging deeper into it now, obviously you're in a good spot right now, and I'm sure you're a role model for a lot of other people now. Yeah. But do you fear is the wrong word, but do you think there's a chance you could ever go back there, or is that kind of sitting around the corner any day?
All the time. It was actually recently from the injury, from having the injury. Like I was just lying in bed for 2 weeks. You know, you're just lying on the couch. Like I couldn't train, I couldn't exercise. I got so many messages from so many people, like everybody, like, and that was so cool. Like I couldn't even reply to them all. I'm just like, man, I feel like a celebrity, but I'm just lying here with my foot. Like it was so great for like everybody from it. Funny thing was there was wages on how I did it. I bought a skateboard 2 days before to learn how to skate with a skateboard, with wrestling and all that. From the standpoint, like those 2 weeks, like those first 2 weeks of the injury, they sucked, man. They just sucked. Like,
so what do you when you say they sucked, and sorry to cut you off, maybe you're going there, but what do you feel, what's a warning sign, I guess, or what's a trigger where you're like, oh, you know what, this isn't just a bad day, this could be the tip of the iceberg of something more.
Going back to that place.
Yeah, I think for me it was more self-talk.
Right.
Yeah, started to sort of just get into a few habits that didn't quite sit well with me. So for me, it was more, I'm always a big believer in like your self-talk can really personify how people see you on the outside as well. So like I was just like, you know, I'm like, this isn't what I wanted, or, you know, like I'm not doing well, or this is like, you know, this isn't how it's planned, or I wasn't, this is why me, all that sort of stuff. And that's what I noticed first with me. Yeah. For me, also just not doing anything. Like from someone who's active and in an industry that is active, I was killing the PlayStation. Like I was, you know, I was just like PlayStation lounge, and then I couldn't leave the house. So from there, it's like fast food. You know, I'll just order a pizza, or I'll get some Macca's, or I'll do this, or I'm sure that I can eat ice cream out of the bucket with no one watching, and, you know, just do that sort of stuff. So, and the big thing was self-talk. Like that's the big thing. Yeah. I think a lot of times when you think consciously, you get in your own head. As far as like, I've got no work, I've got no income coming in, I'm not training, I'm going to get out of shape, no one's going to talk to me, and all that sort of stuff. So the first 2 weeks was up and down, Like, it was like, all right, I'll do this. And then also, like, frustration. Like, when I left the hospital, I fell down the stairs. I'm in a second-story apartment. I fell up the stairs. My shower's got a tile lip about that tall. I fell on that. You know, I'm like, damn it. Like, I'm falling over and doing all this sort of stuff. Like trying to go to the bathroom, I tripped on my crutches and all this sort of stuff. And, you know, like, it was it. Like, you know, and then you get that whole those little things, and then you just like, crutch goes across the room or whatever. Now I can't go anywhere. Damn it.
You gotta crawl over to it.
Yeah, you do that. You know, you lie on your back. Why? You know.
So speaking of self-talk, because I think that's a great one, and this show I think already is, and if it's not, it's going to be full of just great quotes people can take away. But one that I've always heard is from guys to play hockey with is whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
Yeah, man.
And whatever you're thinking is what is going to be. Or if you're thinking, man, I look good, then you're going to feel like you look good.
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
So true.
So what a quote, actually.
No,
the president.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
okay.
I think John Kennedy.
I thought you were giving it to our JFK. I'm like, no. Don't claim him with that one.
Yeah, no.
But I guess, so referring back to you, what are some things that to snap yourself out of it? Do you have any go-tos or like the power pose or, you know?
Yeah, man. Meditation was big for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even 5 minutes, just meditate. I put on some tunes that I'm really into at the time. Tried like not as much vocal stuff, and basically I just pick out 2 or 3 good points, and when I breathe in, I just go through those points, and when I breathe out, whatever goes through my head just goes out with it. Yeah. And then just goes from there. Yeah, so meditation, communication. Don't be afraid to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And just go with the emotions too, man. Like I don't get those people that don't cry. Yeah, like if you're having a rough day and you want someone to give you a hug and bawl your eyes out, do it.
Yeah.
But that's fine. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I can go through a box of tissues like that, you know. I've got no problem with it. But communication's a big thing for me. Like, don't be afraid to talk about it. Probably 2 things is everybody goes through something like this.
Yeah.
And what you go through can also be a lesson for someone else.
Absolutely.
Yeah, gratitude is a big thing too. I got a gratitude journal. I just write down 2 or 3 things a day. If it's a good day, it could be a page. If it's not so good day, it could be 2 or 3 things. Man, I'm grateful I got my butt up out of bed. Oh, I'm grateful I put that piece of pizza down. Oh, I'm grateful I got to the gym. You know, or I'm grateful I met that person or did all this. Yeah, like that's probably the big thing. Just little things, man. And like, just going back, like doing the small things right, and just trying to do something for yourself every day that gives you that positive outlook. Hell, even if it's to ring someone up and just say, hey man, I just appreciate you, or hey, I hope you're having a good day. Boom.
Oh,
yeah, just small things, man. They all build momentum. And then once, like for me, it was actually talking to other people sort of snapped me out of it. Always looking for external motivation, like YouTube, podcasts, books,
the
like
Grassroots podcast. Actually. Yeah.
So what are like YouTube is my life.
Yeah. I kill it.
Even though I love audio stuff too, but what I guess I already know my top 2, 3 just feel good YouTube clips that I've probably watched 100 times each.
Yeah.
But what are some of your top YouTube clips you can put out there?
Oh man, I got how long's this podcast? I got thousands.
It doesn't have to be in order. Just give us a couple.
Pretty much anything by Joe Rogan. Anything by Eric Thomas. Who else have we got?
He's actually in town.
Yeah, well, I by chance got tickets to see him next week.
Did you? You don't have an extra one just hanging around the house?
See what we can do.
See what we can do, and I'll be there.
All right, sweet. Eric Thomas. Robert Sharma, who else? Like podcasts, like that one I seen you, Brendan Schaub and Brian Callan. Lots of different areas, like even poetry, like Maya Angelou. I think she's a brilliant woman. If you can read anything by her, it's great. Anything by anybody that sort of had that struggle through triumph and tribulation. Like I've recently finished Nelson Mandela's book and one of his books, and for a guy, what was it, about 26 years in jail to come out more humble, someone who's gone through some stuff. That's pretty cool. So yeah. As far as YouTube videos, like any motivational stuff, like you've got, like I said, Eric Thomas. I've got heaps. I guarantee I'll walk.
Maybe we'll put some of those in the show notes.
Yeah. So
link to those and
School of Greatness is a great podcast.
Yeah.
I go from that one, which is really good.
What is his name? Because he does CrossFit thing and he did the handball. What is his name? Can't recall. Real quick before I forget, while it's on top of my head, question for you. You talked about like how his health went downhill.
Yeah.
When he got into these situations and a little depression, how he's eating. You being a nutrition yourself, how often do you see that? How important is our diet when it comes to mental health?
Oh, it's absolutely huge. I think changing your diet and it's like changing anything else in your lifestyle, it's hard. It is really, really hard. So if you start to go in a place where you think you're a little bit off point to where you need to be, it's really, really difficult to pull it back. And the biggest thing that people need is a support network, whoever that might be. You guys can attribute, there's at least one person in your life that you know that you can really go and just let all your walls down and they see you at, everything stripped back when you need it. Yeah. And then you can go back out into the world, you can put that game face back on and you can get back out there. But if your nutrition is not where it needs to be, I tell you what, psychologically, that can be a massive, massive blow. And you're going to get the visual effects of that if you do it for long enough as well. So then you're going to have poor self-esteem from it as well, which is unfortunately one of the biggest things. Like 95% of people would come to you for aesthetics.
Yeah.
And then 5% health-based. Health is just that thing at the background that I'm going to improve, but I want to look good.
Yeah, and that's a big thing I sort of learned as a PT as well through one of the PT mentors that I had back in the earlier days was package what they need and what they want. Yeah. So you sort of have that middle ground. So obviously you probably know nutrition you might need where you might be like your cholesterol's too high or whatever the case may be, or you don't have enough iron, but they're still coming in that head frame that I just want to lose weight and feel better. So you sort of got to try and have that middle ground, and that's a big thing I've learned with working with a lot of people. Like you might, if you're too focused on just doing what your end of the scale is versus to actually listening to them, that's when you can sort of miss the point.
Absolutely.
Because like you said, aesthetic could be like, and it can branch in a lot of different areas. Like you probably see with nutrition, people might say I just need to eat better, but that could stem from not feeling good about themselves, being in a bad social situation, lifestyle changes, like bad mental state, with food and all that sort of stuff, allergies, health, all that sort of stuff,
addiction, drugs, smoking,
anything. And that's the same with my avenue. Like someone says I want to lose 10 kilos, you're like, oh cool, sweet, why? I want to get fit. Oh, what's your definition of fitness? And then you just keep working down that scale, and then before you know it, it's like, oh, I want to get fit because I've never felt healthy, or I've never felt confident in swimmers, or I've always been that dude that's picked last at sport, or my partner left me, or whatever the case may be. And then that's the one where it's like, boom, we're friends, man. Let's do this together, and then go from there. And then everything else clicks in because like you're helping them, not helping it.
I think it's being like working out, and it's such a feel good thing.
Oh yeah,
it is. Like you told before that, some people like don't do the legs or whatever else, which is kind of funny. But at the same time, like if big arm or chest or whatever they're working makes them feel good,
man,
then that's cool too.
Rip it, yeah. Oh yeah. I've had a few different avenues as far as fitness. Like what got me out of the funk, the first one is I had a friend who was a coach for bodybuilders, and he said, oh, we'll do your first bodybuilding comp. Man, I think I placed further than last when I did it, but I dropped 25 kilos in like 16 weeks to get there. And it was his support that got me out of that and got me feeling good. And from that, like I walked out the back and you saw guys with like a 20 pack, and I was like, well, I can see my feet again, so I'm pretty happy. So from there, like I walked out the back and they're like, oh, how do you think you go? I'm like, dude, I'm done. I've already won, man. I'm going to get Maccas and that now. I'm great. Like I'm going to chill. So no more broccoli and egg whites. I'm just hanging out. So it's like everybody has their different avenues. That's like the big thing. Like, if you want to be the dude with 25-inch arms, I ain't going to step on your toes. Like, go for it. If you're that person who, wants to have the biggest rowing score or do all that, or you've got 10 festivals to go through this year, sweet. Just rip in.
For sure.
That's the main thing.
Such a link, I think, to feeling good.
Even with sports, like that's that thing. Like if you want to be like the next LeBron or whatever, like put the work in, but don't let people tell you that you can't do it. And regardless of how far you get, you've got a story to tell, and that's the main thing. Someone could use that to get them just as far as you or further, or you can bring them further. Like that's like going back to you guys with your sport. Like sweet, whatever avenue you're in. Like if you're a weekend warrior playing soccer or that, cool. Be the best weekend warrior you want to be.
Absolutely. I find with working out, there's a lot of experts, and I'm putting my fingers up here, like experts out there that it's like, oh, you're working out, yeah. What did you do? Oh, this and that. Oh no, you don't want to be doing that. You got to be doing this.
Yeah, I hear it all.
Yeah,
I hear everything.
And it's like, oh, you did that 2 days in a row. No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's like, find whatever works for you. Because I've followed programs before where people tell me to do, and I've done it for ages, and I see nothing. And then sometimes I just do what I want to do, even if it's against the rules. And it's like, man, I feel good. I feel stronger. Who cares if I'm not? I'm like, this is what I wanted out of it. And the best advice I got once was I used to work with a wrestling guy who was going to university, and I was kind of going to hit for him advice. He's a real good guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, so is this good? I did this and that. And I think he was a bit sick of me. He just said, you're moving weight. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you got to do. I'm like, all right. And that's all I think. I'm like, as long as I'm moving weight and feeling good, it's working.
Oh, that's the main thing. Like, that's sort of what we look at. Like, there's so many different avenues. Like, when someone says, well, what's the best way to train your body? It's like, well, how long is a piece of string? Like, none of us are the same. Like, that's coming back to, like, how I said before. Like, we're like enigmas. They're all different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody works differently. Like, from mobility to, like, I'm still learning every day. Like, I think it's awesome. Like, man, I probably know 0.1 of 1% of how everything works, but that's fine. Like, that's cool. And that's the same with everybody else. Not one training method. Like, you guys know in sport, like, training an athlete now is different from training it from 5 to 10 years ago.
Holy smokes, it is.
Yeah, like,
On a different level.
well, Tiger Woods is a great example. One of the first golfers to use resistance training. Man, it'll bulk you up and you won't be too flexible. You see how far that guy can smack a ball? You look at all that sort of stuff now. And that's sort of the same thing with, like, just training. Like, whatever works for you, as long as it's safe, like, always go to someone who is a professional. Like, I guarantee you Instagram or Facebook, probably not the best first avenue. Yeah. But if you, like, same thing, if you can promote like motivation through that way. But if you are training in the gym, talk to a personal trainer. Like, they're there for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, they're there because that's what they love to do.
Talk to them while they're helping one of their clients as well. Make sure you get all their time.
Yeah.
Especially right then and there. Well, like, talking about health and nutrition, been on the whole Pinterest thing, and I was like, oh, like, Christmas is coming up. I want some, like, cool holiday things, but since we've been doing the whole vegan thing, it's been a bit different finding the fun treats. And so I was like, we were in Sydney, and we were looking for healthy stuff, and we went to Starbucks. Like, I was like, oh, like Starbucks, right? And I got this Frappuccino, which was great, and I was like, oh, I want to make vegan Frappuccinos, and I want to make it at home. So we've started making, like, these caramel lattes and caramel fraps, and we're using this fantastic Glee coffee, and it tastes so good. Like, just mixing Glee coffee with ice cream, is actually dairy-free ice cream. Hey. Or coconut ice cream or whatever it is, mixing it up. And it's been a very nutritional treat for me going into the holidays, feeling like I'm back at home with the Starbucks and the whole lattes and the whole Christmas vibe. So been feeling really good about that, actually, since we're talking about health and nutrition. Like, the whole vegan thing for me has been pretty good. So I'm pumped about that. So,
hey, are you about to wrap up? Because I just want to backtrack real quick.
No, I wasn't. I was going to get back into the topic. So I went off track talking about my. That's all right. I feel like I'm one of those CrossFit guys who just don't shut up about, like, CrossFit. And I feel like I've been that way with the whole vegan thing. Like, I feel like I'm overpowering it. So you guys just let me know when I'm getting annoying.
Be passionate about it. Yeah, that's your thing.
Well, I just got to do it enough so my mind stays on it, because there's so many people are coming back to me with, like, Mike, the producer, sending me pictures of Reese's peanut butter cups saying, I know this is not vegan, but here you go. Like, that doesn't help me. Or here's a fat steak for you. Like, someone was saying, like, they're going on somewhere and these big steaks for something. Who was I talking to? I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't help me. So I have to combat with the vegan talk. That's right. But go ahead. Sorry about that.
Yeah, now you got me off track. No, I was going back to it. It's awesome that now you can kind of sense when you're going down that path.
Yeah.
And you know what the self-talk and other things to put in place.
Yeah.
Since you've been there, do you see it in other people now? Like, do you find you can better sense that guy has the dark light over him and I need to help him?
Yeah, the biggest thing is not to push, though. I sort of find, like, you can't come up and go, come on, man, having a bad day. Slap out of it. Stop being a wuss. Come on.
Yeah. I tell you what, you can't, at that moment.
Yeah, you can't throw that 300 speech at him, be like, this is Sparta, and then go for it. Yeah. Some people, like, I sort of find it can be like a roll-on, pay-it-forward effect. Just, hey, man, how you doing? You're good? How's your day? You know, just simple thing like that. And then that could be it. Could be like, hey, I'm Shaun. Just want to see if you're doing all right. Boom. Like you can sort of like, you don't roll up to everybody, you know, doing that. But some people you tell. It's more like, you know, just even a basic hi. Hey man, how's your day going? Good. Something like that works. For people I work with.
Don't mean to interrupt you, but that like, let's just put a lot of emphasis on that. Like as crazy as that may sound, for anyone listening, it is as simple as just saying hi. It's really that simple. Just like making eye contact and having a genuine hi, how are you doing?
Yeah.
It's that simple. It doesn't have to be this long drawn out conversation. Oh, how's the kids? How's the family? Just a simple hi, how you doing? Do the whole pound thing.
Yeah, knuckle bump could get your day going.
Yeah, it's really that. Because I mean, I had a situation where I said hi to someone and it ended up he was going to commit suicide that day, but didn't just because I said hi.
Yeah.
And it's that serious. It's just saying hi, and I realize how important that is. So, and that helps with just networking. Most of the time, you just say hi and shake someone's hand. You can get a business card, and then business opportunities come up that way. But that's just for me.
And like my theory is, I think people are cool. Like we're pretty funky, man. Like to be in this meat bag for as long as we have to be, we got some pretty cool aspects. Like regardless of what goes on outside of here, like
that's how we met.
Yeah, well, that's it. Just chilling out, saying hi, all that sort of stuff. Plus, it was like 5 a.m. in the morning, and we're both probably as crazy as each other to train. Yeah, it's terrible. Too early, man. I didn't even know there was a 5 a.m. before I started working in gyms. I thought it was an urban legend.
Yeah, that's right. But it's just simple, just saying hi.
Yeah, and that's also like the I think the way I sort of like things, like how I roll with things, it's a momentum effect. Like, have you ever had someone cut you off, well, we all have, in traffic, and you go off, then the next person you meet, you're aggressive to them. Someone might cut you off, you're like, oh man, what's your problem? And then boom, next person. Like, you don't know what sort of day someone's having.
Yeah.
But if I can come in there and just be true to who I am or what I perceive the world to be, like I think the world's a pretty cool place. I think of it as a cartoon. Yeah, man, it's pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty lucky. Not a bad old day any day. Like any day I'm above ground, it's a good day. So I'm pretty sweet with that.
Absolutely.
So I can sort of move forward with people like that. Like, cool, man. See someone having, hey man, how you doing? If they don't want to talk to me, that's fine. That's cool. It's just like cool. You know, as long as they're doing all right.
I find a good one in sport is, and I've been on hockey teams, I've heard it a lot and it feels good, and I give it out too, is just at practice.
Yeah.
Again, don't make fake stuff up, but just compliment someone or like in line for a drill, you might be like, man, you're flying lately. Yeah. Or you had a really good game. Yeah. Just something real small that they might just be like, thanks. Yeah. I guarantee you they're like, and I know what happens to me, I'm kind of like, no, thanks. But later on, I might just be like, yeah, I'm really flying. You know?
Everybody likes a compliment. That's the thing. And not even in a down-to-earth trying to get what you want way. Like, some people don't hear it. It's like, have you ever heard someone, like, you ever said to someone, you go, like, even in past relationships, man, you're pretty. What? I don't even know. What? No. Like, dude, that's, like, that's, some people just, that could make someone's day.
Yeah.
Like, don't say you're pretty to like the biggest dude in the gym, but just, you know, just be smart.
You're a cutie.
Yeah, man. You're looking so pretty today, my friend. Look at your guns. You know, who knows? They could want to hear that, but just little things like that could just make their day, man. You make someone smile and they'll remember that for the whole day. Like, cool. They might have got a traffic ticket. They might have got cut off. They might have had 10 bills to pay, but they might have remembered that random bald head to do the gym and they said, hey, man, hope you're having a good day.
That's right.
Sweet.
It's funny how some people are natural optimists. Some people are natural pessimists.
Yeah.
Like even my mum can be both. One time she was telling me she went to go up to the shops and she went to pull out her driveway and the clutch went on her car. It's like, no, and it was an older car. She's like, now you need a clutch. And she could afford it and all that. But I was like, oh, that's lucky it went in your driveway and not when you're at the shops.
Yeah.
She's like, what do you mean? I had a new clutch. And it's like, man, I'd be like, now I can just go inside and wait for the guy to fix it. You know what I mean? Like, for people always, well, it's not always, some people, it's just, you're thinking, man, why are you looking at the negative there? Like, look at the
But
positive.
See, that can pretty much dictate your whole day or how you see the world. Like, same sort of thing. Like, you pick out 5 or 10 things that go wrong, but I guarantee you can find 10 or 15 things that go right. Like, I try and look for that when I train people as well. You probably know with sport and training athletes, you could be that coach where you go, you know what, you did this drill wrong, you did this drill wrong, you did this drill wrong. And you go, hey man, you know what, you're faster in this time, you did this drill better, and you did that. They're going to walk away going, I can't wait for practice. I'm ready to practice again, or I'm going to stay back 5 minutes and practice that.
Yeah,
definitely.
Whereas if you go, dude, you wrecked that drill, or you didn't finish that, or you're the slowest one in the field, you go, cool, I'm going to go home.
Yeah.
I had nothing to do here. Yeah, it's same with training people. Like, you could be like, well, you got like on the board, they might not have got anything. Like if I'm training someone, like scales are always a big one. Like educating people in the scales. Like, oh, I didn't lose weight. And you're looking at like the wrong way. Like sort of looking at from like say your house is on fire and the people look at their house and they take 1 foot on the lawn, they look at the lawn. Oh man, my lawn needs mowing. Don't look at the lawn, focus on the house. You know, you're looking at the wrong thing. So that's pretty much the way I take it. Don't focus on just the weight. Notice that you've slept better, you've kept your nutrition, you've gotten faster, your bench press has gone up, you're feeling better, like you're feeling more attractive, like just things like that. Don't worry about those damn scales. They'll come along when they come along, you know? So that's, like I said with you guys or with nutrition, like you probably know if you do a meal plan for someone, you go, well, I wrecked one meal on a Sunday. I'm like, great, you got 90% of the week, right? I'll take that.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, so it's just sort of trying to see the forest through the trees and all that sort of stuff.
Exactly it.
Absolutely.
So, anybody got anything before we wrap up?
Well, I guess for listeners, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have got some good stuff from you and that are motivated.
Yeah.
And obviously, once you're healthy, where can people find you? Where can they get a hold of you?
All right, I'm going to throw it out there. Basically, I'm at Balance Health Clubs most of the time, but you can add me on Facebook. Shaun Blomfield. We'll probably link it on the show notes and that as well. Yeah. It's probably the only real social media I use. If anybody's got any questions or you want to talk, I'll link you my email address as well, which is blomfit@hotmail.com.
Absolutely.
So yeah, like I'm always out there for a chat or whatever the case may be. If you want to pick my brain, which usually doesn't take too long, but you know, just I
think, like you said, it's important. Ask the questions. Like, if there's people out there listening that are curious or they want to know more about you or they want to maybe share their journey with you, then like you said, do it. You live once, do it. You're going to get something cool out of it.
Have fun with it, man. Like no matter what it is, like that's always the thing. Like, you know, you're saying that like role models or what got me out of that pit, like even recently. To be honest with you, man, I'd watch wrestling promos. Like you see The Rock like just laying the smack down, just talking trash. It's like, all that sort of stuff. And like, you know, I'd be like, that's what I'd like people have music in the gym or something. I'd have like The Rock or like Ric Flair or Stone Cold. Like I'd have that played. You know, just going bananas, man. You got the veins coming out of the neck. You're like, I want to do that. Then you just rip in and all that sort of stuff. So
I'm going to throw two out there because I got to. But if you want to change your day on YouTube, if you have a bad one, and it's coming up soon, the classic actually, Jimmy V, SP speech.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And
Randy Porsche, the last lecture. There's a condensed version. It's when he was on Oprah. It goes for 10 minutes. But the full ones are like an hour and a half. But either of those.
The second one I've heard of as well. And the one I found today, one of the guys out of the Fast and Furious, what's his name? Well, he does one on self-love, and that would probably shoot the link or whatever the case may be. And that was brilliant. Like the guy just talks about like always look after yourself first. And this thing, like I played it just before the gym and then I threw it on Facebook and I basically just dropped my phone because it was just like everything was so just hit really deep, but in a really good way. But there's so much out there. Like that's the beautiful thing about the time we live in. We have access to information like more than anything. Like, cool, man. You can keep up on what the most current celebrity's doing or who's fighting with who or who's doing whatever. But you can go on TED Talks and find somebody who's been able to recreate the human ear, or you can find someone who's been through a situation, or like podcasts or motivation or done all that. Like the information is at our fingertips to do whatever the hell we want.
Too much information.
And that's the beautiful thing. The beautiful thing about what we have, everybody has a voice. The crazy thing about what we have, everybody has a voice. And that's such just flip of the coin, man. So use it like, use it for good.
That's right. One last question I do have for you, Jase, and we'll wrap this boy up. It's gone pretty long. It's good content here, all that gold. Going back to the nutrition side of things, because I know this is big for me and I'm sure other people listening, it's so easy for us to get in that funk, especially when it comes down to our eating and looking at ourselves in the mirror, et cetera, et cetera. What is the best way to combat that with our diet? Like, what's a practical example? So I have that one cheat day or whatever it was, and I'm just feeling gross. And I even though I go to the gym, it's just like, I didn't have my greatest pump. Like I only ran half kilometer. Like I'm just struggling. And then like you get that, I've already eaten this much. I might as well go ahead and eat the cake. And you just get in that cycle. And then you're looking at yourself in the mirror like, you're a fatty 2x4. And you just get in this rut. Like what's a practical way to get out of that? Is instead of eating a donut, you have a trail mix and slowly progress your way? Or like, how do you do that?
Whenever someone would see me and they're in a massive hole, basically like that, and it's generally most people, it's a lot of small changes that you're not disrupting the entire lifestyle, but a lot of small things will add up to big results. And what you need is to get that ball rolling, and seeing results is biggest motivating factor for someone to continue with their journey. If they're struggling with that, there's only so far you can take it. So there's a theoretical stages of change model, and basically you're either pre-contemplative stage where you don't even realise that there's a problem. Then you move into the contemplation stage where you're basically sitting on the fence. You can see the positives or the negatives of making some changes and progressing somewhere. The job really, and I see a lot of people in that contemplation phase where they've actually acknowledged that there's a problem, is to get them to the action phase. You need to highlight the positives, and I think that's something that you do really well, is to highlight those benefits of making changes, but also draw a light on the negatives. So if it does come to it, it's asking someone, okay, what would happen to you if you lost your health? What negative factors are there? You've got people, you might have a family that rely on you. You know, you've got your job, you don't get to do the things that you want to do. So drawing a light on those things, and if it comes down to it, getting someone to physically write out a pros and a cons list. What's good about staying the same, but what's good about making those changes? Right. And I'll guarantee you one side of that list is going to be a hell of a lot longer than the other. And it does a trip. If they're physically actually writing that out, it's a fantastic tool. As silly as it might seem, and people always kind of laugh and go, no. It's just like, no, just humour me. Just write it out. And every single time. And you know what? If those things aren't enough to kind of get that person there, it's time. But at least you've planted the seed. You give them information at that point in time and say, look, here's my number. You know? When you're feeling ready,
give me a ring.
When you're ready, give me a ring.
Love it.
And we can do it.
Practical. This is the practical episode. For all you Earth Movers who are listening, this is the practical episode. So much gold, so many nuggets from this episode. Man, I feel empowered. Anyone listening to this, just go out and just knock it out. Like, go hit a home run. Go get in the gym, eat healthy, whatever it is. I'm just super motivated after that one. Thanks, Shaun.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
It's phenomenal, so much. And one thing that I pulled out of that is like, if nothing changes, nothing changes. Right?
Absolutely.
Like, we got to make those changes when we are in that funk. It is changing our mindset. It's changing to a negative self-talk to a positive self-talk. It's going from being isolated to giving a friend a ring and communicating and being social. And it's all the above. It's just so much that we have to do to get out of those seasons. And it's just interesting hearing your story and what sports has done for you. I know sports has done a lot of the same things for all of us. I could go over stories about what sports has done for me and what health and nutrition has done for you. And it's changed our life. And that's what we like to promote with the Grassroots podcast and everything we do with NSA is promoting a healthy lifestyle, promoting healthy relationships, and just promoting what grassroots sports does and promoting what sports do for our lives in general. And I think after listening to this episode, I'm definitely going to re-listen to it a couple times myself. I'm just feeling really motivated to get back on the horse and just get that positive self-talk going and just really pursuing the things that we've been called to pursue, and especially going into 2017, all the exciting things that we have with Grassroots and NSA. Looking forward to it. But, you know, it is going to be a lot of changes that we have to make. It is going to be a lot of positive self-talk. It is going to be a lot of encouragement, a lot of social interactions and getting in the gym and all the above. So, Shaun, can't thank you enough for hopping on and being vulnerable and sharing your story.
Yeah, man.
Super pumped for what you got going on. And as we said earlier, we'll link everything on the show notes for people to get a hold of you. And maybe you get some clients out of that. Maybe the Earth Movers for support. But regardless, I think you added so much value to our listeners, and we really appreciate that. So much gold. So you guys know the deal. You guys love hanging out with us, and we love you hanging out with us. Thanks for all the comments you guys have been leaving. We hear you guys. We see you guys. We understand that there's a lot of episodes you guys want us to do. We're working on that. We're very busy going into 2017. It's the end of the year, and just spending time with friends and family. It's the end of the season, so we're just pumping out as much as we can, doing as much as we can to cover some of those things that you guys are requesting from us, plus some of the things we have in the lineup. So we'll continue to produce that, but please continue to leave us comments on what you guys want. You guys know we're on YouTube. Make sure you guys subscribe to the red button if you guys are watching, and make sure you guys download if you guys are listening to iTunes. Continue to hang out with us on all of our social media platforms: Twitter at grassroots_AU, Instagram at grassroots_sports, and of course Facebook.com/grassroots sports. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Until next time, you're hanging out with us in Thoughtbox Studio 1, also known as the Foxton.